Alright guys, so this video is all about pelvic tilts, understanding the pelvic tilt. So to understand the pelvic tilt, we gotta lie on the ground and then we're gonna put our hands on our hips and we're gonna go ahead and keep our butt on the ground, roll the hips forward so that we create space between the low back and the ground. So this is called the forward tilt or an anterior tilt. So when you do this, you should feel your low back turn on. And then to do the opposite, we're gonna go ahead and push our low back against the ground, tuck our hips underneath us. It's gonna turn on the glutes, it's gonna turn on the lower stomach. This is called a posterior pelvic tilt. So go ahead, practice several reps of that, back and forth, rolling the hips forward in the anterior tilt, tucking back in the posterior tilt. And then go ahead and find the extreme of both. So you really roll the hips forward as much as you can. Arch your low back as much as you can. That's one extreme in the forward tilt. And then we're gonna go ahead, tuck our hips as much as we can to where our butt will even start coming off the ground. We're rounding that back. That's the posterior tilt, the extreme. We want to find halfway between both positions, so that's called a neutral pelvis. So halfway between both positions is where our hips are slightly tucked, lower abdominals are engaged, glutes are on. We have just a little bit of space between the low back and the ground. That's a neutral pelvis, and that's where our hips are the strongest. And that's where our low back takes the least amount of pressure. So if we can take that neutral pelvis, do that, and keep it with everything that we do out in the weight room and in life, then we're gonna be set up for success. So I hope you guys found this video useful. It's pelvic tilts.